Hey there, horror movie tea sippers.
The following podcast episode will contain spoilers for the movie we are about to review. If you have not seen the movie and do not wish to have anything ruined prematurely, please do not continue to watch or listen until you have seen the movie.
And welcome to the Horror Movie Tea Podcast. Today we are covering 30 Days of Night. But before we go into the review, let's grab our cups and talk about tea. So we're doing some repeats. I'm doing the Harney & Sons Fun Teas, the decaf hot cinnamon, which has decaf black tea, orange peel, cinnamon flavors, cinnamon cloves, and also with creamed cinnamon honey.
And I am also doing a repeat of Republic of Tea's Comfort and Joy Holiday Spice Blend Tea. And it has black tea, cinnamon, natural flavor, cloves, licorice root, and apple bits.
And thank you to the Republic of Tea for allowing us to continue to do what we love. And for our lovely tea sippers out there, pour yourself a cup of tea, sit back, relax, and we hope you enjoy the review. So 30 Days of Night.
Still a better love story than Twilight.
Don't copy me.
It's true, though.
So for those who may not know, if you're far up enough north, there are times where there'll be like no night or no day. And so this particular movie, I forgot which town in Alaska, or if they just made up
Barrow,
one.
Alaska.
Okay, thank you. In Alaska. They're about to have a month where there's no sunlight. And so everyone's packing up and leaving, and it's kind of skeleton crew left remaining in the town. And
People that don't want to leave, people that can't leave because of jobs.
Yeah, like a whole slew of reasons. And it's like a very yearly like thing that they're used to. But the twist about this particular time is vampires have been taking advantage of this time and have been going from town to town each year to feed upon the people. And
No, this was the first time.
it was the first time?
Yeah, they even said we should have done this years ago.
Oh, okay. Because I remember them talking about moving to Wainwright, like next. But
Yeah, that was their plan.
Oh.
This was the first time they had started doing that.
Okay.
Hence the
My
freighter.
bad. Okay. Gotcha. But yeah, so these vampires decide to take advantage of having 30 days, no sunlight, so they don't die. And it's the town protecting themselves, so the end. So for entertainment, this is definitely a good, solid, like, creature feature. Like, you get what you pay for. You know, there's carnage, lots of, like, tension, and
And if you look too closely at it, there are too many holes.
yes. Yeah, it is one of those movies where
Please take it at surface level.
it is very surface level. Don't really dig into it. Don't go too deep. So it's like, it's a movie that if someone was like, I want to watch it, I would be like, okay, sure, whatever. But it wouldn't be a go-to movie for me.
I feel like it's one of the better vampire movies. As far as vampire movies go. But there are definitely better ones out there still.
I don't know. I mean, it's a very different type of movie, but Underworld is pretty solid.
Yeah, it's a very different type of movie, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm trying to think of, like, horror vampire movies.
They didn't... What I really liked about this is they didn't romanticize the vampires in this one.
Oh, yeah. It's very much, like, 100% horror.
Oh, yes.
But I believe, didn't 30 Days of Night come out before the Twilight movies?
Yes.
Yeah. So it's kind of before that became a whole thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it came out before Underworld, too. If I recall right.
It's almost like the like Nosferatu or like the original Dracula vampires. Like that's kind of the vampire to expect.
They are predators.
Yeah.
We are their food source. They don't want to romance us. They don't want to live among us. They don't give a crap.
They just want to eat.
Yes. They want to go nom nom. They are messy eaters. Just saying.
I think I'll give it a 7. Yeah. But yeah, it's like, it's an older movie, so no. I'm just saying, I mean, it's not
Came out in 2007.
that was like,
Shush. Do not say it.
okay. It's
Don't say it.
it's been out for a little bit and for a few years, and but it gives you like the horror vampires that you're like expecting, which is nice.
They don't get often these days.
Yeah. A lot of the time that I have seen vampires in horror movies, I haven't been like legitimately scared. I'm like, ooh, vampires, like who cares? But like this
Where's
one,
the steak?
yeah,
Where's the machete?
right. That's like in this one, it definitely feels like they are a lot more dangerous.
Oh, yes.
Like people like huddling in attics.
This is a problem.
Yeah, like and even them hiding in the attic, they're like, this isn't enough. We eventually will have to move and have to figure something else out. This is just a temporary solution.
Yes.
And
We need to sleep in shifts.
yeah. So they definitely do a really good job in portraying the fact of how dangerous these vampires are.
And the different reactions people have to the situation.
Yeah, like some
panic and run out or try to get out of town. Others hide. And some others kill their families and try to kill themselves.
yeah.
Others
kind of-
just try to survive
yeah.
or fight back.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, a nice range of like characters and reactions. So like a pretty solid, like it's nothing special. It is what it is, but it's a good solid horror vampire movie.
definitely. It is not a realistic movie at all. But I like how they did the vampires. It felt almost like a cross between zombies and vampires. Almost. Like, just, it was almost a virus.
Which I mean that's
And they kind of
pretty common though with vampires.
a lot of
if you're
times.
bit-
And they lose their sense of self after a while.
yeah.
That's what kind of reminds me of the zombies a little bit. They're not completely mindless. They are smart. But they definitely lose their humanity,
Yeah.
for sure. And they go through that physical change fairly quickly.
Yeah.
So it's interesting, and I like that they bring some of the older lore, and they even mention, like, it took us centuries to convince them that we were just a bad dream, that we weren't real. So they were actively trying to hide their existence. And they were trying to cover their tracks when they set the town on fire.
Yeah. Well-
So that was a nice touch, in my opinion.
Well, and then on like the turning thing, I do like that they showed enough different people turning that you kind of see how each person reacts.
Yes.
Like one of the main guy is the guy that dies at the end. It's like for him, he decided to like, I'm going to keep in control as long as I can to do some good and help my to help her.
Yeah. Her and the other people of the town, because he was the sheriff, and he had a very, very strong sense of duty.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I feel like there were better ways that he could have gone out instead of meeting the son, but, you know.
I mean, I guess they wanted to make sure that it was done and that he wouldn't come back.
You know, an axe would do the same thing.
Yeah, but I don't think
He did it to a few others. It was effective.
True.
It was
But
very effective.
asking people to do it to him, that would be tough. And it was kind of sweet that he died in her arms, even though, like, towards the end when he was, like, screaming in pain. It's
Yeah.
that
Let
was
her
pretty.
have that memory.
Yeah. But he died with them in each other's arms. That's romantic. Better story than Twilight.
It was. Definitely.
he didn't
But
get
still,
sparkled
let's
to death.
taint this sweet spot that we had our first date in forever and have a horrible memory attached to it as well. Where I died screaming in agony and pain in your arms as you
With his
held
little,
me
like,
here.
ash skin, like,
As you held me here
floating out. Yeah.
so that I wouldn't leave and made sure I would die.
Yeah.
Sure.
It-
But yeah, it's not a deep movie.
no.
It is a very straightforward creature feature slasher movie. There's a lot of holes.
Yeah.
There's so many.
It was kind of a cool touch, though, to see the ash coming from his
Yes.
skull, like,
A
out
lot of the
into
effects were really, really good.
Yeah.
The practical effects were really good. The gore, it was a little bit of gore for the sake of gore
Yeah.
in a lot of parts. So if you're not big on gore, this might not be the one for you. It wasn't like too bad, but there was a lot.
Yeah.
I really liked how they did the teeth.
Yeah.
Like when they start to turn, it was almost shark-like. And then they gradually got more pointed. And a lot more of them. Mm-hmm. So that was kind of cool. And the eyes reminded me of demons from Supernatural. Because it was just like all black. So the effects were really cool. But some of the deaths and some of the decisions that were made and all, I couldn't give it higher than a 7.5. I can't. Also, they killed the dogs. Every sled dog.
Yeah.
Brutally. Not cool. Could have just let them out. Set them loose. No. No. Nope. Gotta slaughter them all. Assholes. Rude.
I wonder if it was almost a callback to The Thing.
Maybe. But they were trying to take out all modes of transportation
Yeah.
that they could. Because they wrecked cars. They took out the helicopter. Like, they tore the helicopter apart.
Yeah. Like, they had a strategy.
Oh, yes. They took out the brakes on the machine because she got hit with it. That was sabotage. Because there was a whole bunch of other vandalism, too. All of the sat phones were taken and burned. So they were actively trying to cut off that town
Yeah.
from any means of escape. Because it's said in the movie that they were like 80 miles of wilderness away from anyone.
Yeah. That's prime vampire eating
So
time.
you missed the plane. You missed the last plane out of there, and you are not going anywhere until the roads are clear again. Which is at least a month. No. So, but because they killed the dogs, I can't give it higher than that. And the holes. But it is, other than that, it's, again, if you just watch it surface level, don't dig into it, it is an entertaining movie. There's a lot of tension in it. There's a lot of very interesting scenes. And I like how dangerous these vampires are. And not all of the decisions are stupid. So. Yes.
Oh, realism. It's such a toughie. Like, what is it with us picking movies that have such a hard realism scale?
I don't know why we do this to ourselves.
I know, because it's vampires. Like, how
I know
what
we
am
have
I
to set
supposed to do with
some
that?
allowances aside for it. We do. Just because that's what we do with the other ones. We set some allowances aside. In this world, vampires exist, and these are the rules for them.
Oh. Okay.
So allowing for that.
I mean, the characters, like, their reactions, having the varied amount of reactions, and then whenever they're turning, I feel like that's pretty spot on. And it's like, if vampires were real, the fact that they strategized with, like, cutting off the town, like, that's pretty good. I'll give it a 2.5. But it's like some of the deaths, and honestly with that movie I was like more sucked into like figuring out how the characters would like live, and there ended up being like a point in time where like I stopped paying attention to like how realistic the movie was and was just like enjoying the story, which is a good thing.
That's good. That's a very good thing.
That's a good sign.
Yes. So the fact that it can do that even though it's not very realistic, well done. Well done.
It's immersive.
That's hard to do. It's a very fine line there. So, good. That being said, the vampires were kind of stupid. Because the way they were initially attacking the town, everyone should have been dead within the day. Maybe a couple days. Because after that initial attack, instead of just standing around waiting to see if anyone's going to come out of a house and tracking them down and getting them, I feel like they would have systematically gone house to house.
Yeah, that would have been the smart
searching
move, yeah.
thoroughly and torching the house after they checked it.
Yeah.
Because they're going to do it anyway to cover their tracks.
That's very true. That's smart. Yeah.
And also, if they happened to miss anyone in the house that they just checked and they set it ablaze, then chances are either the person's going to burn to death, in which case they don't have to worry about them anymore, or they're going to run out of the burning house because they'd probably rather be eaten, which would be maybe quicker, usually quicker, than
Hopefully.
burning to death. In which case they have another meal. And then they can throw the remains in the burning house, like they were planning to do anyway, to cover their tracks. So, the whole thing should have been over well before then. The fact that there were people still alive after 30 days is BS. And huge movies got a movie thing. Huge movies got a movie thing. Call it bullshit. On the whole thing. Nobody was looking for the ship that they arrived on, that they likely killed all of the crew on. Because it was just out there abandoned randomly. Yeah. Nobody looking for this missing ship. Nothing. Hadn't been called in. No searches of the ship. The only one that spotted it was the random drifter dude that ended up killing all the sled dogs and doing the vandalism stuff. Seriously? Really? And why did it take him so long to start to turn? Like, they killed him before he turned fully. But why did it take him so long to get to that point? When they bit others in that town, and they turned within a couple hours, typically. Depending on how hard they were fighting it. Sometimes it was minutes, sometimes it was hours. So, what are the rules here for this virus?
Yeah.
Inquiring minds want to know. Also, You cannot tell me the big bad alpha vampire that has been alive for centuries dies from a newbie punching it in the face. Absolutely not. It felt like a giant waste. It really did. I know they were trying to have this like epic mano-a-mano fight as kind of a climax and everything, but no. That was one of the dumbest deaths I had ever seen. For a big bad to die like that, it just seemed like a gigantic waste and total bull. It really did. They wasted a better death of one of the vampires going into the grinder thing in the factory.
Yeah.
I felt like it was kind of a waste of time. Also, more people should have been shooting for the head.
Yeah.
I know the body is a bigger target, but when they're running directly at you, aim for the frickin' head. Especially if you have a shotgun. I mean, come on. How are you going to mess with that? The dude that blew up the road flare box that looked like dynamite, honestly, he should have been dead. It blew up at his feet. He should have been dead. It's bullshit that he wasn't. It's kind of nice of them to crush his head. It was quicker, and he wasn't eaten, which is why he was trying to kill himself the other way instead, because he didn't want to be eaten. So it was nice for them to grant that, but he should have been dead with the blast, for sure. Also, why did Big Bad Vampire Dude kill his wife, mate, whatever, like that? Like, do they not heal at all if they're hit by UV?
I don't know. It's like, they definitely didn't explain all of the rules.
Yeah.
And there's no sequel to this movie, is there?
There is.
Oh, there is?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Do you remember what it's called?
30 Days of Night, Dark Days.
Ah.
I have not seen that one. I just found it when I looked it up. They also have a series, apparently. 2 of them.
Oh, dang.
Yeah.
Man.
Yep. But that's what I got for realism.
Yeah, it's like, for like a classic vampire, like horror movie.
Yeah.
Like I'm saying, like the classic image of a vampire for a horror movie. Like this movie does a good job in modernizing that image of the vampire.
But because of things that it just movie's got a movie, it can't get higher than a 2 for realism for me. I can't.
But
I can't do it.
Pretty good, pretty decent movie though. Like it's one of those movies where it's like, I don't think you're necessarily missing a whole lot if you don't watch it, but it is worth the watch.
Yeah. It is. It's a good one to pass the time. Again, don't dig into it.
Yeah.
Just take it as is.
Yep.
It's not a deep movie.
Thank you for joining us today, and let us know what you thought of the movie. And if you'd like to recommend a movie, game, or tea, you can leave us a comment or join our Discord server. And if you'd like to keep up to date with our content, you can find our link tree listed below.
And if you'd like to support us monetarily, we have a Teespring and PayPal, or we have our affiliate link with Republic of Tea available. And it does not affect the price of the tea, it just allows us to continue to do what we love. And you can find all of the sites mentioned linked below. But until the next time, guys, stay safe and stay spoopy.
Bye!